Welcome to Just Asia, AHRC TV's weekly human rights program. These are the headlines. Thai court rules that authorities did not break law in burning down Karen homes. Crimes against national security no longer to be tried in Thai military courts. Sri Lankan youth missing for 9 days after police arrest. Pakistani police officer sells Hindu girl after forcibly converting her to Islam. No justice for Munir 12 years after assassination. Sri Lanka holds first debate between university students and prisoners. Urgent appeals from the Philippines, Indonesia, and Pakistan. Welcome to AHRC TV's Just Asia. I am Julia Roblando. This week, Just Asia begins with Thailand, where the administrative court ruled in favor of the national park officers who had forcibly evicted and burned about 100 houses and rice barns of ethnic Karen villagers in Pong Luk Bang Khoi in Phetchaburi province. The September 7 verdict reasoned that the Karen villagers illegally encroached into protected areas. Therefore, the park officers had the right to take down these structures in accordance with the law. Despite a 2010 cabinet resolution stipulating that Karen villagers can stay in national park areas, the resolution does not give rights to Karen villagers to settle on virgin territory inside national parks, the administrative court judges concluded. The court did order the public agencies to pay each Karen villager whose house was burned down 10,000 baht in compensation. Initially, the affected Karen tribesmen had demanded 100,000 baht compensation each from the authorities. Mr. Surapong Kongchantuk, director of Karen Cultural and Development Center, told the media that prior to 1985, the Karen community in Pong Luk Bang Khoi did not settle in the national park but were asked by the park officials to move to their current locations. He added that this is the first case in which authorities burned houses of Karen ethnic minorities whose settlements overlapped with national park areas. As the court ruled in favor of the park authorities, the verdict might encourage them to take similar measures in the future. In other news from Thailand, the junta has issued an order abolishing the trial of civilians who commit crimes against national security in military courts, including sedition and lèse-majesté cases. On 12 September 2016, the Royal Gazette published the junta's National Council for Peace and Order, Order Number 55/2016. The order states that all lawsuits involving crimes against national security, which involve Articles 107 to 118 of the Criminal Code and some other NCPO orders, will no longer be tried in military courts. The order was issued under Article 44 of the Interim Constitution, which grants the junta absolute power. According to the order, the abolishment is possible now that the country is in peace and that Thai people have cooperated adequately with the junta administration. This cooperation was reflected in the landslide result of the August 7th referendum that favored the junta-backed draft charter. The order puts an end to military court trials of those charged with lèse-majesté and the sedition law, the laws most commonly used to prosecute junta opponents. However, the order does not cover lawsuits initiated before the order was issued. This means that all cases of crimes against national security tried in military courts before September 12 will not be affected by the order. In Sri Lanka, a 20-year-old youth was disappeared during a police investigation into the theft of 20 sacks of paddy. 9 days have now lapsed since Gayashan disappeared. 3 young men were arrested by the Hambantota police in connection with the theft, and 2 of them were later released. Although Gayashan was also seen in police custody, his whereabouts for the past 9 days is unknown. The released youth complained of being severely beaten up by the officers of the Hambantota police during custody. Gayashan was last seen being taken to the latrine by the police. Half an hour later, the officers were searching for him, saying that he had escaped. Nothing has been heard since then. The Asian Human Rights Commission has urged Sri Lanka's Inspector General of Police to hand the case over to the Criminal Investigation Division. According to the group, an urgent investigation into the disappearance is crucial, as delay will only pose further danger to Gayashan if he is still alive. If he is not, delay in investigation will give the perpetrators more time to tamper with evidence and cover up their tracks. For more information, Just Asia speaks to Basil Fernando, AHRC's Director of Policy and Programs.
The shocking thing about this disappearance, and now it's 10 days after the disappearance, is that nobody is really bothered except the media, which is giving the news. The Prime Minister is silent, the President is silent, Minister of Justice is silent, all the politicians are silent, and Hambantota is the base of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, the opposition group, Mahinda Rajapaksa, their base, they are silent. Now that is the shocking thing about this kind of happenings. The IGP has given a call to the family and said, I will do whatever I can. But that is, of course, he is supposed to do. He has to do whatever, everything possible. But police has 85,000 policemen. So all these 85,000 policemen cannot find what happened to a young man who was last seen at a police station. Surely a simple, proper detective work with either detectives or even detective dogs or whatever, and the forensics would have told the story of what has happened, but nobody wants to actually to get to the bottom of it. The life of a young man doesn't matter, and that is what we should question. All this about new committees have been formed, human rights committees, new commissions, all kinds of talk. Is there anything more than mere circus? Bluff. That is what we should really shockingly ask ourselves. What has happened to this nation? What has happened to the people? Even they are not outraged that somebody is lost inside a police station. No trade unionists have talked yet. Nobody. The religious leaders, his country is full of religious leaders, but none of them have spoken out and asked what has happened to this young man. That is the kind of religion, that is kind of morality, that is kind of ethics we have.
Moving to Pakistan, a sane police officer beat and kicked a Hindu girl into converting to Islam and then sold her to a local landlord for 50,000 rupees. The station house officer inspector Sajjad Kasi mercilessly slapped and kicked her at the Mirpur Mathello police station, witnessed by hundreds of people. After local media highlighted her case, the ensuing public pressure forced the administration to conduct an inquiry. The accused police officer has been suspended pending the inquiry results. According to Ravi Dawani of the All Pakistan Hindu Panchayat, such incidents are not uncommon. There seems to be a conspiracy behind it. They want to disturb the Hindu community so that they move out from here. But we will stay here. We appeal to the government to protect our children and our family, Dawani said. Next, in Indonesia, Mrs. Suciwati, widow of assassinated human rights activist Munir Said Thalib, organized a movie screening and public discussion to commemorate the 12th anniversary of his death. The events were organized with various human rights groups between September 4 to 11 in the Jakarta Legal Aid Building. Similar events were also held in the provinces of Yogyakarta, East Java, and Aceh by human rights organizations, journalists, and victims' associations. These were held to remind the public and pressure the government that the assassination case of Munir 12 years ago aboard Garuda Indonesia Flight 974 from Jakarta to Amsterdam is not yet closed. Despite Polikarpus Budihari Priyanto, a pilot as well as intelligence agency official, being sentenced to 14 years imprisonment for involvement in Munir's death, the mastermind behind the case enjoys impunity. Moreover, Polikarpus has now been released on parole. The Indonesian people and media believe that there is a conspiracy behind Munir's case led by the National Intelligence Agency. Some recommendations were made in the fact-finding report established by previous President Yudhoyono in 2004 and 2005. However, current President Widodo is reluctant to order the police to re-establish a special team for the case and to publish the fact-finding report.
Itu makan uang kita, tahu nggak? Ya kan? Dan kemudian dia mengkhianati kita. Apakah dia ngomong menegakkan konstitusi? Tidak. Sudah makan uang kita, terus kemudian tidak membuat keadilan penegakan hukum yang betul. Setuju? Jadi 12 tahun jelas ada hasil rekomendasi tim mencari fakta. Sudah ada itu di tangan presiden. Siapapun presidennya bisa baca itu. Tapi apakah kemudian dilakukan rekomendasinya? Tidak. Tidak ada keberanian. Ya itu tadi karena takut, Pak. Karena takut pada orang-orang yang menyandera mereka. Jadi apakah orang seperti itu yang harus kita hargai? Tidak. Karena
in Sri Lanka, a debate between Palekele Bogambara Prison and the Peradeniya Law Faculty was successfully organized by the Human Rights Office Kandy. Under the guidance of Director Father Nandana Manathunga, the debate was held on September 8th at the Palekele Bogambara Prison premises. Titled The Mandela Shield in honor of the former South African President Nelson Mandela, who was imprisoned for 27 years, this is the first time such a debate took place in a developing country like Sri Lanka. The tournament is set to crush stereotypes attached to prisoners and to create an environment where they can live with dignity and integrity and where they are appreciated and recognized. The motivation for Mandela Shield came from the debate held between Harvard University and Eastern New York Correctional Facility. The debate team of the Peradeniya Law Faculty proposed that Sri Lanka's criminal justice system plays a satisfactory and effective role. The team from the Bogambara prison will oppose this motion. To learn more, Just Asia speaks to lawyer Surendi Pereira at Human Rights Office Kandy.
The main idea behind that debate is give some recognition to the prisoners. So, like in Sri Lanka, like law students or this legal profession is considered as very high status profession. Had some kind of agreement with the university debate team, and they came to the prison and they had this debate with the prisoners debate team. So it gave kind of recognition to the prisoners, and it gave a good opportunity for prisoners to come up with their problems with the justice system, like police, courts and the prison system. Topic is like very much like more related to their personal experiences, like the problems in the criminal justice system. Those prisoners who are in the prisons, they have a lot of experiences about the problems exist in this criminal justice system. There are many prisoners who got into the prison sometimes by the faults of the courts or the police, maybe the lawyers, or sometimes most of them are in the prison because of the problems within the system. So those problems came up with this debate. In this debate, I can remember like one prisoner came up with the fact that even his son cannot get there is something called like Grama Seva certificate in Sri Lanka to get the like it's kind of a character certificate. Even his son cannot get a character certificate because his father is in the prison. So the problem is severe.
Finally, the Urgent Appeals Weekly features 3 cases from the Philippines, Indonesia, and Pakistan. The Philippine police were involved in torturing and planting evidence on 3 persons in General Santos City. The police operation was allegedly conducted to boost the police image in their campaign against illegal drugs. In Indonesia, the Anugera Saritama Abadi Company commenced grabbing the land of local residents and farmers of Bahotokong village. Without adequate compensation, the company confiscated the land and the villagers are now facing criminal charges. In Pakistan, an 18-year-old woman was murdered in the name of honor by her own uncles and cousins. The girl's father has filed a case of murder against the murderers in the hope of settling the case out of the court through the Diyat law. The same police, a member of the provincial assembly, and powerful tribal chiefs were behind the plan to kill the woman, as they thought she had given a bad name to the Magsi and Brohi tribes. That is all for this episode of Just Asia. For more on these and other issues, please visit www.humanrights.asia or www.alrc.asia/justasia. Thank you for watching and see you next week.